Hi Virgo, welcome or welcome back to my channel. We're doing your general messages for the week ahead, and I've already pulled the oracle card, so we'll get straight into it. First one we have here is chop wood, but it came out in the reverse. So I read the protection message for this, and it kind of says that maybe you've spent a lot of time dreaming about something happening and something that you really desire and want to come true. But you haven't actually been doing any work towards making that dream come true. And it's kind of like, maybe you need to politely get off your ass and do the work. And it doesn't have to mean like with the job or anything. It could be like, that you have a passion and you want to, pursue that passion and like create it into a business, and you haven't done anything towards it. You just kind of dream about it, and then also maybe your thoughts about it have been like, that I can't do that because of this, or I don't have time, or I don't feel like I'd be the right person to do it, or I don't want to put myself out there in such a, in the spotlight. It's that type of energy. Because also here with the full moon in Virgo, it says you are good enough. And this card is about, it can be one of two things. So one, either you've been too humble, which I take it as if you've been too much like, wanting to be in the background, like not be main character type of thing. And it's kind of like, take control of your life, do that thing that makes you passionate and makes you excited, and do the work towards that instead of just doing the mundane daily stuff that you need to do. And then we also have with this, when it asks, are you being too picky? Maybe that's something that's stopping you from doing the work. Is like, no, especially with Virgos, you guys are very kind of perfectionists. So if it's not just right, then no, I'm not ready to do it yet because it's not just right now, So it could be something like that. And then also we have the dolphin spirit, this and that are true. And this talks about how whatever you're telling, the story you're telling yourself or other people or both is correct, and that is true, but there is also another truth to it. So both this and that are true. So not everything is all good or all bad. There is in-betweens with that. So maybe you've been telling yourself this story about, how something has, you're, for example, like you're not good enough, or this needs to be perfect. And there's this one thing that isn't, that to you is a big deal, that you can't launch this business, let's say, because of this specific part of it. And it's saying, Dolphin Spirit is like, no, actually you can, because that is true, that is a very important part, but you can absolutely go ahead without it and bring it in at a later stage, something along those lines. You obviously take what resonates with examples. Okay, so let's see, what does the tarot have to say for Virgo? The situation for Virgo. We have the Two of Wands. Okay, what about the practical general day today? We have the Eight of Wands, heart space. We have the Page of Wands, and the Two of Swords was also came out with that. Okay, what about their headspace for Virgo? We have the Ace of Swords, and then just the passions. Okay. So, Virgo, bottom of the deck. Sorry, I just want to line this up properly. Bottom of the deck, we have the Strength card, which is Leo energy, Judgment, Scorpio energy, and the Hanged Man, Pisces energy. So that's three major arcanas here. At the bottom of the deck are the things that we either don't see coming, or things that are playing a role in the background. So I feel like you are in a place where you've had to put forward a lot of strength to overcome something in your life, right? And you probably could still be struggling with that. Maybe that is why you haven't taken action at this time. But I feel like you're also working on your self-confidence at the moment. And again, that's also very relevant with the You Are Good Enough card, the full moon in Virgo energy. I feel like it might have something to do with the final decision that was made, and where you have felt quite stuck in this situation. So there's nothing for you to do but kind of like work on yourself. And I feel like now you're in a way like, you know, closed off to any future potential because of whatever the situation is, right? And I do see here with the Hanged Man that you are going to, you know, come to get a new perspective. And just know, if you're in the thick of it now and you're kind of like going through it right now, that's okay, because what the cards are saying is that although you feel stuck now, you are going to see things from a different perspective. You're going to actually start taking action. You're going to have that awakening, that wake up moment, and you're going to have the strength to get past this, whatever it is. Just remember, we came into this world by ourselves, we'll leave it by ourselves, with no person, no material things, no nothing. So all you need is yourself. And I don't know why I felt the need to tell you that, but I did. So hopefully someone needed to hear that message. Then in your situation, we have the Two of Wands, and basically the Two of Wands is about planning, right? So I do see maybe you're stuck in a phase of planning rather than actually going ahead. You do need to make a decision, and the decision is like, you know, which path should I take? Maybe there's a fork in the road and you're like, okay, is it that path that I want to take, or is it that one? You know, it could be the decision to travel in some way as well, or it is just planning something that you want to do that brings you excitement, you know. And then we have the Eight of Wands here in your day-to-day practical life. So, or your work or your career, whatever it is, things are very fast moving at the moment. And like there's a lot of communication going on. There's a lot of momentum taking place. You know, maybe you feel like sometimes it could be a bit too busy, and maybe that's why you don't have the time to work on your passions. But whatever this is, I do see you actually directing all your energy in one direction, and still feeling quite like excited and passionate about it, but we'll get a clarify on it anyway. And then in your heart space here, I see the Page of Wands, which is fire energy. So you could be either have this in your chart or be dealing with a Sagittarius, a Aries, or a Leo, and it's came up with the Two of Swords, right? So what I'd say here is that in your heart space, there is a part of you that does want to kind of possibly reach out to someone. Maybe it's someone that either you feel like they've blocked you, or you feel block, or you block them. It could be literal actual block, or it could be like a energy block type of thing. So I do see that a message that it's like you're trying to, you're considering reaching out to someone. I don't see you making that final decision yet. I think you're kind of like stuck in your head about it, and you're toing and froing whether you should do that. If it's not something along those lines, it is something that at the moment you are wanting a new beginning in your love life. You are wanting to kind of take that first step to go ahead and maybe meet someone new, flirt with someone, you know, put yourself out there in some way. But it is also like, if you have already met someone new, it's kind of like you're quite excited about taking this new path, you know. But there is a part of you that's kind of blocking it, and I feel like it's coming out of fear, maybe because you've been hurt in the past. Just because when I did pull these cards, I looked at the bottom of the deck and there was the Nine of Wands. So I do see that there is like some sort of hesitance from your side about moving forward to something new. Okay, then in your headspace we have the Ace of Swords. So you're seeing things very clearly right now. You're in a place of being very honest with yourself, with other people. I do also see you, you know, being very clear and communicative with people around you. But you also are thinking about, maybe you've like come up with a new idea that's like popped into your head, and you're like, you know, replaying this new idea that's like quite like a driven type of thing. And also it could be that this is just you thinking about communicating with someone, or you're thinking about like maybe being honest with someone, or having a clear communication with them. And then we also have at the bottom of the reading here, we have the Five of Cups. This is with your passions and your desires and stuff like that. So I feel like you're quite disappointed. Maybe you've tried something before with something that you desire, whether that be a relationship or a project or your career or whatever. You take what fits, and you're just kind of disappointed in this moment of what's gone on. Maybe you have a little bit of regret about it, but there's definitely a sadness here, and I do see you focusing on the negative side of it, whereas I feel like that's where this dolphin spirit is coming in, where it's saying like, yes, that is true, you did spill 3 of your cups, you know, that is sad, and that's something to be sad about. But you do also have some positivity here too, with the 2 cups still standing. You know, there is still love in the situation if it's a person, or there's still a mutual benefit here if it's like a business partnership, or you know, something like that. So I feel like the dolphin spirit is saying like, although what you're feeling is valid and true, there is also another side that you need to kind of move past the grief side of it and get to a point where you can actually see the positive side of things so that you can move forward. So let's get you some clarifiers for Virgo. Okay, so what is the 2 of Wands? We have the Page of Wands. Okay, so you're planning some sort of message and fresh start, right? But it's making you anxious. It's keeping you up at night. You're stressed out about it. So whatever this new path is, as excited as you are for it, and as much as you're putting in the plans, you're very worried about it. And I feel like maybe that worry is coming from, like I said, the self-worth type of thing, and like putting yourself out there, like you don't want to do that. So you're not taking action with this chop wood in the reverse because it's scary, you know. And I think that Spirit is telling you not to be worried about it, because the Page of Wands is like the start of something fresh and new and exciting and fun, and you're gonna enjoy it, you know. So go for it. So let's see, what is this 8 of Wands? 10 of Swords. Yeah, I don't know why, because the 8 of Wands, and we have Death at the bottom of the deck as well, Scorpio energy. So both Death and the 10 of Wands are endings, right? Which I will come to in a minute. But when I got this 8 of Wands, I remember I was saying to you it's fast moving and all of that stuff. But I was getting this kind of feeling of like it's giving you a part of you it's making you stressed or anxious, or it's too much, or that type of thing. So I do feel like the movement that's happening at the moment, that fast moving lifestyle that you're currently living, whether that be in work or your day-to-day life or both, it's coming to an end because there needs to be a transformation here, because I feel like there is some sort of burnout that's happening at the moment. So let's see, what is this Page of Wands and 2 of Swords? I already know what it is, but we have the Page of Swords and the 4 of Wands. So I feel like at the moment you're wanting to progress in your relationship, right? Whether that you're in a committed relationship or you're single, looking at someone new, or you've just met someone, either way, you want some sort of progress, right? You want to celebrate with them. Maybe you possibly want to move in with them, or you know, whatever that next stage is for you guys. But you're kind of trying to kind of gather the information first before going ahead and communicating that, right? You do want to communicate about this, but you're in a more observant energy at this time. And I feel like I said, it's because there's something that's blocking you here. Like you want more information before you can make your decision. But actually what the 2 of Swords is it does say that you do have the information you need. You don't need more information. What you need to do is go within and feel like your gut, like you're too much in your head about it. And then we have the Strength card at the bottom of the deck, which is that Leo energy that's here. You know, this is something that you are going to overcome. You're going to have the strength to be able to do this, but I feel like there is some sort of communication you need to take in order to progress things forward. But there's a fear, and you need to just kind of, you know, move past that, have the strength to go out and make that communication, do that work, whatever it is, you know, chop wood. What is the Ace of Swords here? Two of Swords. Okay, so this is this communication that you're thinking of doing, or this conversation that you're thinking of having, this truth that you want to discuss, or the clarity that you want to receive, but you're kind of stuck in your head. Again, same message. Get out of your head. Stop thinking about it. Just go for it. Do it. And we have the Sun. You're going to get this clarity 100%. Whatever you've been thinking about, that you're confused about, that you feel stuck in, you're going to get clarity on it with the Sun and the Ace of Swords, and clarified by the Two of Swords. That's exactly what it is. And you're going to be very happy about this too. So I feel like it's positive news, and I feel like you've got it in your head that you're so worried about going ahead and having this conversation, or getting this clarity, or whatever it is, or this new idea that you have. You're scared to progress it, but you know it's actually going to work out for the best for you. And then what is the Five of Cups? We have the World. Yeah, something came to an end. This cycle is completed, and you're still upset about it, right? I feel like you're stuck in between, which is funny, this is the dolphin spirit, in between, you know, the one thing ending and starting your new beginning. It's like you've got one foot in each life, you know, and it's closing out a cycle here, which is something that you're upset about, but there's also something that's very exciting about the future. The future with the Fool here at the bottom of the deck, that's Aries energy, is something that you can actually, you know, be carefree about, something that you can kind of just have that childlike mindset, look at it as like a new exciting path, you know, like you don't know anything, you're just like a child going along this path and just being curious, you know. So that's what the Fool is about, and it's about taking that leap of faith and trusting that the next step here is, this is the path you're meant to go down. There are some endings going on here. I feel like you are in a time of struggle, but you are going to have this strength here to move past it. So next part of the reading is just going to be a quick love reading, just to kind of get where you're at. Okay, so what are Virgo's feelings for their person? Oh, okay, withdrawn, single, lonely, solitary. Okay, and then we have bottom of the deck, shallow, hollow, empty, and boredom. So this kind of energy, it's showing me, it's kind of like the Hermit energy, which is Virgo energy. So I do see you sticking to yourself at this time, you know. And the kind of message that I was getting is that maybe there was an ending in the past in a relationship, right? Which has made you come to the point of wanting to kind of like you're like, that's me done, like I'm, you know, hanging up my boots, or whatever the saying is, like I don't want to get back into another relationship ever again. I'm happy by myself, and that's me, right? And I feel like it's coming from a place of fear and hurt, which is understandable. And I feel like as well, like maybe there's some, like I said, self-worth issues, which you're working on your self-confidence now, and like I said, you are going to reach that point. And then we do have shallow at the bottom of the deck, and I feel like as much as you feel like you should be by yourself right now, you also are feeling like there's a lack of love there, you know, like you do have that lonely message there as well, you know. It is empty, it is hollow, it is boring, you know, being in this place by yourself, but this is where you grow, you know. So I feel like you are going to get to that point of taking next steps and starting a new beginning, but you're in the growth period, and that's why I feel like I said, you're in between closing something out and moving forward. So okay, so what is their feelings for Virgo, their person? We have perspective. better off, happiness, and clear headspace. Bottom of the deck, we have intimacy, bonding, sensual, and confiding. So I feel like your person's feelings at the moment is that they maybe need to kind of think about what happened, and they feel like maybe for both of your happinesses that you know, that you guys should be able to kind of move past this. It's a bit confusing because we have intimacy at the bottom of the deck, right, with the bonding, sensual, and confiding. So I do feel like this person does feel a very close connection with you and that they want that, but it's kind of like they're trying to see things from a different perspective and see, like, if you guys take some time apart and they do clear their head, is it better off that you guys are separate, or is it better off that you guys are together? And I'm more getting that they're gonna kind of get the vibe that they want to be with you type of thing because of this clarifier at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so let's see, for Virgo, I'm gonna get some romance angels. Okay, we have deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. And we have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. It did come out in the reverse, and I was kind of like feeling like that is the case, you know, that maybe things are regressing rather than progressing, and that's why you have this Four of Wands, but you're kind of wanting to kind of understand a bit more first. What else? Last one. Okay, well, we've got two. Codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life, and we have passion, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. I feel like maybe you are, either you or them, one of you is in a position where you guys are maybe in an attachment with each other, and it's like something has happened where there's been some sort of dishonesty or hidden something, and maybe I feel like that is something that is either has just come out or is currently going to come out very soon, with that Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords here, and the Page of Wands and the Two of Swords. It's very, and then the Page of Swords, that's information coming in, you know. So whatever it is, it's either you already know about it or it's like literally this week coming. So if it doesn't happen this week, don't, you know, like, if you're in a happy, healthy relationship, don't even think about that, you know. But yeah, I do feel like there's some sort of attachment between the two, and maybe you're just withdrawn from this person at the moment because of some sort of hidden truths or dishonesty in some way. It doesn't have to, you know, dishonesty doesn't always have to be another person. It could also be something small, like they lied about, I don't know, going out with their friends, you know, because you wanted to see them and they were saying that they were too tired, but they actually wanted to see their friends and they didn't want to hurt your feelings. You know, it could be as small as that, you know. But like I said, there's a codependency issue here where your attachment styles maybe are causing an issue, not just yours, both of yours. There's an attachment between the two of you. And with passion, I do see that coming up in the future, but it's kind of like it's not there yet type of thing. Like I said, you're in between at the moment. Okay, so let's get some messages from your person for Virgo. So if they weren't holding anything back, what would they say to Virgo? I love you. Okay, what else? We have, I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. And what else? That one fell down, 1 second. I'm afraid to contact you. So these messages are generally for people in separation. Like I said, if you're in a happy, healthy relationship, you take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And then we have just being near you is intoxicating. So yeah, so basically I feel like this is someone who still has very deep feelings for you, with the I love you card there. But something has happened between the two of you that they are learning from, and I feel like you're learning from as well, but it's in that in between. And then I'm afraid to contact you. Like I said, there could be someone that's blocked or even just emotionally blocked or whatever. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope there was a message that helped you, and I'll see you guys again soon. Take care.